What a car, what a car. Three things that stand out for me. The first one is the steering. It's quite light, but it's very, very direct. It's got loads of power, and the nice thing is you can hear that straight six engine. Even though it's turbocharged, you can hear that lovely, lovely engine. And these seats are marvelous. Welcome back to the AAA MF YouTube channel. Today we've woken up at 4 AM to test drive the new BMW M4 Competition, and I've brought a special guest to come and test drive it with me. You got a smile on your face.
It's a good car.
Is that because you've seen me or because you're in the BMW? It's a good car. So this car comes in at £87,000.
Yeah.
A lot of money for a BMW.
It is.
But
it's worth it.
But it looks pretty spectacular in Sao Paulo yellow.
Yeah.
And we've brought you along today because you test drove the 981 and 718 GT4.
Yep.
And that video got over 200,000 views.
Yep.
So we thought we'd bring you along again to test drive the new M4 Competition, and also because you've driven the old one and I haven't.
Yep, absolutely.
So you can compare.
Exactly.
Off you go. Off you go.
She's quick. Whoa, she's quick. Awesome. Okay, so comparison-wise, firstly, the front end grip on this car is insane. It is so much better than the F-Series car. In terms of turn-in, I think the tyres as well make a difference, because I had some, I think the old car came with Continentals, the one that I drove anyway, and this has got the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, which are absolutely awesome, and particularly in this weather as well, actually. So front end grip, awesome. I think in terms of the way in which the car rides is a lot better. I actually found the F-Series ride is a little bit gritty, and sometimes you sort of just not exactly know where you're placing the car in the way that you can with this thing. In a weird way, I actually think that might be because of the weight of the car. The car's a little heavier, and then it sits on the road nicer, if that makes sense. So the car feels very planted in a way that the F-Series didn't. It's also very, very hard to brake the back end of this car. You have to try, whereas in the F-Series I found that you could brake traction pretty easily. It was a little wilder in that respect. This car's had a few edges rounded off it, I think. I think the gearbox in particular, being automatic versus the DCT box in the F-Series, I think makes actually quite a big difference to the character of the car. It really has changed the way in which the car drives, actually. Whoa, she's quick. She is quick. So the character of the car is different quite a lot because of the auto box. So the car is definitely friendlier in a lot of ways because of that change to the ZF8 from the DCT box. And what I mean by friendlier is that it has a broader spectrum of ability that allows you to treat it as a daily driver, mooch around in comfort. It's so much easier from that perspective. But when you want to, you wind it up, you press your M1 or your M2 button, you wind all the chassis and gearbox, engine settings up to their higher settings. You put MDM on, you can even fiddle with the traction control. There's lots of different configurations on this, which allow you to really run it as a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde car, and so therefore it has a broader spectrum of abilities. So you're sitting there one day in a crappy day like today, you just want to cruise around, you can absolutely do that, and the car is just like a 3 Series or a 4 Series BMW. A little harder edge ride, but in comfort it's not too bad. And then if you really want to get on it, you can.
So I picked this car up from BMW yesterday,
Yep.
and I spent about 3 hours in traffic in it. And then I drove down.
Which was all right, probably.
It was actually perfect.
Yeah.
I can't actually fault this car. So we've got your GT4 today, so tell everyone what you drive.
I've got a few cars. I've got an X5M Competition. I've got the 981 GT4. I have an M135i BMW as well. So I love BMWs.
You love BMWs and you love Porsches.
Yeah.
Those are
I
the
love
two.
Porsches.
And you love Ferrari. You had a 430 Scuderia.
Scuderia. That was a very nice car.
Yeah.
But this one is quite something. It's quite something, and a lot different to the F-Series. I was talking about some of the differences that it has, but for me, I think some of the best things, it's got a front end, which when you turn in, it just wants to go straight away.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the old F80 or F82 just didn't have that. So you sort of, it felt...
I think what's
at the
interesting
front.
is you actually jumped out of this and compared it to your 981 GT4 Porsche,
Yes.
which is a very big compliment to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this is a front-engined,
Yeah.
very heavy,
Rear
four-seat car with a boot.
Yeah.
And it's almost feeling now like it's a sports car, which it always should have been.
Yeah.
I actually drove the M2 CS in a video, and this is the car I had hoped the M2 CS would have been.
Yeah.
And this has everything that I wanted in the M2 CS. It's got these lovely carbon back seats, which are the best seats I've ever sat in, yes?
Yeah, they're awesome, even better than the 918 seats.
They're the best seats I've ever sat in. They are expensive. The carbon pack is about £7,000,
Yeah.
which includes the carbon roof and the bucket seats, but they're electric carbon bucket seats,
They're also heated.
and they're heated as well. Nice for old men to be heated, yeah. So the seats are the best seats I've ever sat in.
Yep.
It's got great turn-in.
Yep.
It's really fast.
Yeah,
it's
very
really
quick.
comfortable.
Yep.
It's got a great dash.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think, look, it's made that. Yeah, of course, everyone's going to talk about the grille.
Shall we talk about the grille?
It's a grower. It's a grower. I when it first came out, I was thinking, oh, what have they done? Like it's, you know.
I don't think you can swear in this video.
Oh crap! What have they done?
Yeah, I think everyone thought that. And I think they did that on purpose. I think they wanted something controversial that people would talk about.
I also think the one thing that they've really done is moved it on. There are people, and this is maybe an epiphany that I had, that people want to drive something that's new and different.
Yeah.
And this is new and different. You cannot, in any way, shape or form, drive past this car and go, oh, that's an old BMW 3 Series. Or an
No,
old
when
BMW.
I was driving it through London yesterday, everyone was staring at
Yeah.
it. I don't know whether for the good reasons or bad reasons, but everyone was staring at it. This colour is...
It's also eyeball.
This colour is
searing.
pretty out there, but they do it in a nice frozen blue,
Yep.
which I would probably choose.
Frozen Portimao blue, which
Yeah.
is very, very nice.
So this is the question. You can't compare this to the GT4 because the GT4 is a two-seater.
Well, you can compare it.
Well, you
because
can't compare it because this has got 4 seats. It's not a comparable. You wouldn't see Autocar doing a review of a GT4 and an M4.
This has got an advantage insofar from a daily driving perspective. You can put people in the back of the car, which is fantastic. But you can compare it in terms of how it drives.
What is the competition? In terms of 4 seats?
RS5, I think, is probably its closest competition. But that's four-wheel drive, although this is going to come out in X-Drive shortly.
This is going to come out what?
X-Drive shortly.
Right.
C63S, I think, in two-door coupe form is the same as this. So they're probably its 2 closest competitors.
I think the turn-in on this differentiates the car from those other 2, from the Mercedes and the Audi.
Yeah, it's got an amazing front end.
So why don't we sum it up? What do we love and what don't we love about this car? We love the seats.
I love the seats. I love the grip and turn in of the car.
Yep.
Like I love the way in which actually it's got a broader spectrum of ability now. So you can actually drive it pretty much as easily as a daily driver without even thinking about it. And yet you can wind it up and turn it into something quite a hot rod.
And tell people there's lots of different modes.
Yeah.
So there's suspension, chassis,
you've got
steering.
Comfort, Sport Plus on just about everything.
Yeah.
Comfort and Sport on steering, Comfort and Sport on gearbox. You can wind the gearbox up so that it changes for you or doesn't change for you in slow, medium or fast settings.
Yeah.
It's
So you can change the settings to suit your
Absolutely.
Driving and the drive that you're doing.
Yeah, and you set it with the M1 and M2 buttons. So daily driver might be M1 and it's all like nice and comfort and slow and, you know, gearbox going slowly, everything's nice. And then when you want to wind it up, press M2 and it makes a big difference.
Anything we don't like?
I'm not sure I'd buy this this colour, actually.
But the blue,
a dark blue, or even a couple of the nice oxide greys. A couple of the nice greys are
still a lot of money though for an M4, £87,000.
It's a lot of money. You can get a GT4 for that.
I have to say, I think as a 2-car garage, a nice Porsche
Yep.
GT4, maybe a 718 Spider,
Yep.
manual, maybe,
And that,
or PDK.
or even the M3, because even then you got 4 doors rather than 2.
Yeah, I like the shape of the coupe
Lovely.
much nicer than the 4-door.
Lovely.
The nose has also grown on me. But I don't think this colour suits the dimensions of the car. I think you need a darker colour to hide it's quite a big car. Yeah. And I think if you had a darker colour, it would suit it. Yeah. I'd definitely go for the carbon seats though.
Oh,
they are
awesome.
a must, the carbon
Awesome.
seats.
They are awesome. I actually didn't want to like them because I thought, if you're going to do something like this, you get the comfort seats and you can drive it around as a daily driver. But they are so good, so good.
I haven't actually got anything bad to say about this car. The only thing I can say is that I think it's quite expensive at £87,000.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to hold up over the next year or 2 in terms of depreciation. I've got no idea. But I think they've moved the game on quite a lot from the old M4. Yeah. And this is, I was going to say, this is probably the best BMW I've driven since the M3 CSL.
Wow.
Can you think of a BMW that's better than this from the M3 CSL? Because we've done a video with the M3 CSL, and that really surprised me how good that car is after such a long time.
I mean, I have to say, I love my X5M Competition. I love it because it's got that V8, and that V8 is amazing. But the rest of it, this car is just, I mean, it's a proper sports car versus a truck.
Yeah.
But it's just awesome, and very much comparable to a GT4
yes,
in terms of driving.
Again, that's a huge compliment to this car that it's as nearly as much fun to drive as a Porsche GT4 981.
Yeah,
I think so.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for coming along, Andrew.
Yeah,
thanks for waking up at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. this morning. We hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And in the next video, or the one after that, we've got the new 992 GT3 coming. See you soon.